welcome back to my channel. I'm Grace, and it's Growing with Grace Homestead, and I have been canning and gardening for over 42 years. So today I'm going to give you a tour of my homestead since I started this year of 2024. I have started just about everything from seeds on my own. These here, I have sunflowers, and every year I do a theme in my front yard. It's either sunflowers, elephant ears. Well, this year I decided to do zinnias. So I have saved my zinnia seeds from last year, and I had grown, I think it was 100 seeds. So I don't know how many is actually out here of the plants itself, but I am, whoops, there's a bee. So I'm going to give you a tour of how my garden is doing now. One thing I like about zinnias is that they attract the hummingbirds and also butterflies. So this is what I've done for this year for my zinnias. And I'm kind of curious to see how much bigger they're going to get since we still have a couple more months of summer coming. This side of the house here is mostly shaded. So now the impatiens I did buy. I did buy the impatiens because I got a late start with them. And this is just going to be a temporary for this year because we are building a deck out. And I hate to lose this garden part, but I think a deck would look really nice. Now this year, we are going to be siding the house, and we're putting the deck back here. So I wanted to fill this space up with something, so I just put some, here I have some cantaloupe and some watermelon right here for this year. Then of course down here, two of the dogs are mine and the other two are my grand puppies. What you guys doing, huh? I went to this nursery and I just love this monkey hanging here. So what I thought I would do, I took some morning glories over here, and so I thought I'd try to make like a jungle theme. And so the morning glories will grow all the way up through here, and a little yellow basket here, a water bath. The water bath comes in handy because I do see butterflies here. So, and then later on, when this is fully covered, then I'll come back and show you guys a video when this is fully covered with the morning glories. I always like to make a border of flowers around my garden here. And so I did plant some Elysium. And again, here I have some watermelon and some cantaloupe. And then again, what I did here, up here, was morning glories on the canopy panel. So I like to attract as many bees as I can. So these morning glories will come and just fill this whole thing up, and it'll be just a mass of different colored flowers. Now this year, I only planted 4 rows of corn because what I like to do, like every other year, I like to plant a bunch of corn like I did last year, and so I canned a bunch and froze a bunch. So that way, the next year, I can do something else with this garden space. Then I don't have to can corn every single year. So the other thing is, again, I got the morning glories that helps attract bees to help pollinate. On this row here next to my greenhouse, I do have zinnias planted, and then in between the zinnias, when they get bigger, down here I have celery, so that helps shade my celery. So I keep my celery all through here, and then on the outer edge I have onion bulbs. So the zinnias will help pollinate, attracts bees and butterflies, and it's just pretty. I figure I'd show you, since all the ducks are here and stuff. This is a natural habitat feeding that I made for my ducks and chickens and stuff. So this is like mulch put down, real heavy mulch. I do it every other year, like a foot deep. And then the mulch, it attracts all the bugs in the ground. And so mostly the chickens are out here. And it also keeps the environment clean because when it rains, then all the poop goes down into the ground. And that also helps then not attract so many, flies. So, and then they have a pond here to go into. And I always plant a bunch of tomatoes. Several reasons. I make all my sauces, all my ketchup, you name anything you can do with tomatoes, that's what I have. So, and I always plant like 3 cherry tomatoes on this side of the fence because, Toby, why don't you show them? Can you see the fence over here? Like over here is the fence where all the chickens and everything like that are. So I'm really close here. So that way, and I also plant tomatoes and stuff like that, more than I ever need. And then that way I can, what I don't want, which I don't need a lot, I mean, I have a lot of tomatoes, then I'll just pick them and throw them over and I'll feed all the chickens and the ducks. And so again, I did have a bunch of marigolds down through here, but I had a couple chickens that jumped the fence and I didn't get them in time and they dug up my marigolds. So, and again, I have the whole outer edge of the fence outlined with onions. So let's go on down here. And then down here is where I keep my herbs. So, and the reason why I have the white sheet, I will pull that sheet over as like a canopy through here, especially when it ends up getting past, I'm going to say 85 degrees. So it helps shield the herbs some from the heat. So this, I've already picked these twice, and I'm going to replant the parsley here, but I already have most of my herbs. All the herbs that I grow is what I use and, you know, in my canning and cooking for the year. I just picked these herbs, so that's really nothing to show. And then right down here is all my mint. And then I have peppermint and spearmint. And what I do with these here, I will dry them, the whole leaves, and then I'll use them for mostly tea. I like mint iced tea. But I did also discover something, and I thought, you know, if the stores can iced tea, why can't I? So I tried it. So I will pick these and put them in my tea, make some really good, strong, concentrated ice, you know, tea without the sugar in it, and then take all the mint leaves out of it and everything, strain it, and I canned those. Those were boiled water bath at for 10 minutes, and then I tried it, and boy, that was good. And it made it nice because I did it in quart jars. So I do a lot of camping, and it's nice just to grab a jar and take it, and you're ready to go. All you gotta do is add the amount of sugar that you want. All right, now right here is all my oh, I forget what kind of peppers those are. The Hungarian peppers. Hungarian peppers here, down through here. And then again, you see I have onions planted in the back right there. And what I do with Hungarian peppers, a whole lot of them, I make my own mustard. I will this fall when I go make mustard again, because every other year I make mustard. Of course, our rooster would get up on that roof and start crowing as we're talking. Does it every time. But I do make mustard, and mustard out of the Hungarian peppers and some white wine vinegar. And again, I'll show you that when I go make that. This side here, these are my dad, his tomatoes. So he likes to grow tomatoes. Again, we can't eat this many, so he's always giving them away to everybody. And so this is kind of like a little garden area for him. And then my dad has flowers in front of his place here. And what we did, we took a barn for my dad. My mother passed away a little over 5 years ago. So we brought him here to live with us. And so we had this barn built, and then we went and put windows in it and doors, and it has a little kitchen, little bathroom inside. So it's just really perfect, and you know, for a 92-year-old man. So, but he has his own little garden here, and he loves to grow flowers. In this area here, of course, the dirt to your left there, those were my garlic bulbs, and I've already pulled them. And again, here's some more onions, and I do have red onions here. The other onions are the sweet onions. I like morning glories, so I planted the morning glories in hanging baskets so it would spread out also. And these here are my, what are these? Oh, these here, these tomatoes are the Romans here. All these, and then right behind the Romans again is more onions. So come on down here and we'll go inside the garden. I have my garden. I have all the things that the rabbits like to eat. So what I did, I made a big out of cattle panel here, and then at the bottom I put chicken wire so that way the rabbits can't get in. So inside my garden here, I also have some the orange peppers and the red peppers, and then I'll take the California wonders and then I'll dice up. I'll dice them all up, and I have that slicer where you can slice the squares on them, and then I will take the onions also and freeze them all together so that way that when I make scrambled eggs, I could just reach out and throw some in the skillet. These are my Amish paste tomatoes. And again, I always like to plant flowers in the middle of my garden. So these got a little bit of a late start compared to the rest of them. And then my green beans down through here. I have all my green beans. Now my green beans didn't germinate very well this year. So I will plant them again here at the end of July for a fall harvest. So I have the sweet potatoes up against the fence so that they can grow up the fence here. All right, the reason also why I put all the thick grass clippings down, the grass clippings will help keep the weeds, you know, not coming up through, and to smother the weeds out. And then also too with the thick, and I said thick, when I mean thick, I mean I put it thick. And then it also, after it rains, I've only had to water this garden one time, and that's it. And that was in the beginning. So that also the grass clippings will help maintain the soil. And now if you remember too, my plants, when I planted them, and I started all these from seeds, that my hole that I put my tomato plants in is this deep. So even if the topsoil is a couple inches dry, if it is, which it usually isn't with the grass clippings, then we still got that much that is still damp in the soil down below. In the sun, I have this just a plain old sheet. The sun comes, morning sun comes in where it's not so hot on them. And then during the midday where it's really hot, this helps shade. It keeps the hot sun off my Brussels sprouts or cabbage or whatever you want here. And let me pin this back up. It's just, as you see, just basically clothes clips, little stakes in the ground. And I've been doing this for years, and I've been able to grow, you know, cabbage pretty successful. So now if I know it's going to rain, then I can take those clips off, pull this back, and then just let it rain. All right, let's go. I'm going to show you my onions now. I had built these beds, so I kind of designed it, told my husband what I wanted, and then we put it together here. So we have two of them. This is where I raise my onions, and yes, I did count out. We went to Rural King, and I did count out 500 onions myself, some of the biggest onions bulbs. And so between in these two beds here and what you see around the garden, I have a total of 500 onion bulbs that I grow. And what I do with this many onions, I will braid some and have them through, you know, the rest of the summer and that. So when we make hamburgers and hot dogs, it's really good, fresh onions. The other thing is, when I was talking about dicing up the green peppers, the red peppers, and the yellow bell, you know, all the bell peppers. And then I will use these, and we will dice them up, and we'll put them all in the freezer bags and stuff like that. So mix them all together. So not, like I said, and then I'll also just freeze onions only. And along here, these are more peppers. And I'll be honest with you, I forgot which peppers they are. I meant to put the tag there and I forget what I got. I'm thinking that they are cayenne. Did I say that right? Cayenne peppers, or they are banana peppers. So, and you'll notice that I do have a bunch of these 55-gallon barrels, and this one we have it coming off the downspout from the, this is my broiler house when I raise the broilers, and so I'm able to use rainwater to access to my garden here. All right, let's go back and let's go look at the potatoes. Here is like an overview of my chicken yard here. That weeping willow tree. I don't know if I can zoom in. Nope, I can't zoom in when I'm doing this. That weeping willow tree has provided great shade for all my ducks and geese and chickens. Now I did get a video earlier before the potatoes are starting to die down, how they were way up past my waist. These potatoes, I was able to get these potatoes all in the ground like 6 weeks earlier than normal. And I live in southeast Ohio, and these are probably, I'm going to say 40% dying off now. And so I'll be picking these here probably in a couple, whenever they die, the leaves all die down. So, and I should have quite a bit. I do have some red tomatoes in here. And again, on the ground here, I do have the grass clippings that are put down. We put, in order to feed my potatoes, and I do have a video on it, and I showed how I did it. I put a bunch of straw with the chicken manure mixed in and everything, real thick on it, and then go back and heap up the potatoes with grass clippings. And I have never had to water these. The ground has stayed moist, and I did pull up some potatoes, and out of 2 potato plants, I got half a 5-gallon bucket of potatoes. I think I said tomatoes, didn't I, earlier? So potatoes. These are carrots. I do put them in these big barrels. I always plant a few things of carrots right now, so that way in a couple months I can have carrots to eat. But I'll show you where I will plant my main crop of carrots. So on here is, again, more onions mixed in. These are the 8 straight cucumbers here. Then I have kale that I keep up here. And this is another type of, it's not a morning glory, but it's more of a fall flower. So it will spread out through the fence here. Over here is my pickling cucumbers. And again, as you see, we have onions. I love the morning glory, or what are these things called? Marigolds. No, I do like the marigolds. They do make a nice entrance onto crossing over the bridge here. But if you also notice, here is another 55-gallon drum of water here. Now this one here, I can't siphon it from the pond, so we do use the water hose and keep it filled. And then that way I can water these pots. And so I have like 5 of these gallons of barrels around, and it really makes it convenient if I need to water, you know, plants and stuff. Okay, all right, now I'm going to show you my windmill real quick that I painted up as a sunflower. I do have a little, I put my fruit trees, I have peach trees, pear trees, apple trees, cherry trees, and a plum tree, and I put them inside with the chickens and the geese, because in the fall, if some of the stuff falls down, then they can eat it. The weeping willow tree there, this is my 4th year of having it. It was a 10-foot stick 4 years ago, and I plant it right in the middle of the yard here, and I have it fenced off, so half the leaves come on one side and the other half of the tree goes on the other. And you guys, this really keeps it nice and cool for the chickens. It provides so much shade all the way down to the ground, and they will nibble the leaves off from the bottom, so they kind of keep them trimmed for me quite a bit. Now here's the sunflower I was talking about. My brother, he made this windmill, and me and my husband took it and we tried to make a sunflower out of it. It takes 2 people. It's on a stand that it's on hinges, so it goes down to the ground and back up, and it's so heavy it takes 2 people to take that hinge down, at least for us. When I was talking to you guys about my carrots, You know, I planted that one thing, barrel of carrots just to have throughout the summer. Then once these will probably get pulled within a week, and so probably usually by the end of July, I'll have these 2 beds planted full of carrots. And I will show you, and I do have a video on how I do that. My dad had gotten this swing, and so he built this frame to put it together. And what's really nice, I've got the morning glories growing up all around it to shade it. And it is so nice to come out here and sit in the evening and just enjoy the sun going down and just hearing the night fall in, and everything's pretty quiet. All right, guys, take care, and we will see you next time.